Victini Gamer here, and of course, as of every Spiral Abyss video, I have to do a commentary version of it. So, hope you enjoyed these runs of floor 11 and 12 while listening to the sound of my voice. So, of course, as with every commentary video, I'm gonna be giving insight on the enemies, as well as the strategies, and the teams I used as well as some character recommendations for you guys, so that you could beat this floor for yourselves. So, well, without any further ado, I'll just talk about my teams first before we head on to the actual Spiral of this. So, you already know, it's not that special. Raiden, Hu Tao. At this point, it's just the break the glass emergency break the glass team for me. So yeah, but anyways, on to floor 11, chamber 1. So, the first half is just a bunch of mushrooms, and the second half is just a bunch of eremites and treasure hoarders. So, of course, as with every chamber 1 of floor 11, it's a monolith floor. So, if you have animal supports, if you have DPSs, like my Raiden team right here, then this should be fine. Chamber 1 is pretty easy of floor 11. Floor 11, chamber 1 is pretty easy. If you have an animal support, or if you have a big DPS team that can one-shot enemies like the Raiden team, or basically any DPS team at this point. So yeah. Well, if you do have an animal support, try to focus on the monolith. Try to aim at the monolith because most of the enemies there attack the monolith. So as you can see here, the mushroom is here. The Geo mushroom attacked the monolith, as well as the other hydro and cryo mushrooms were heading towards the monolith. So if you do have characters that do have effects that pull in enemies, so like Kazuha's E, Venti's Q, Sucrose's E and Q, use those and try to aim at the monolith so that you can do as much damage to everyone as possible. So yeah. Oh, I was wrong about floor 11 chamber 1 second half. It's just one eremite and a bunch of robots. So, with the robots, you can defeat them in either two ways. One, burst them down before they turn invisible, which is what I did. Or two, beat them the intended way. So in order to defeat them if they are invisible, if they do the invisible form, which they never did, by the way, once I did my run on Spiral Abyss, because I burst them down quickly enough so that they don't do that. But in order to defeat them when they were invisible, all you have to do is use an Electro reaction. So all you have to do is use Electro on the devices that they summon when they turn invisible. And once you do that, they basically take dendro damage, and then they are wide open to attack. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you don't have a good DPS team, just bring a Electro character on the second half. It's the same principle for floor 12, as well as the final boss of floor 12, which is what I'll be discussing later once we get to floor 12. But yeah. Well, anyways, chamber 2 is just Fatui and eremites. And then the second half, I believe, is the same thing. So, yeah, you could relax. If you do have animal supports, again, if you do have a DPS team, of course, both of those, then this should be no problem because it's just mob fights. So, if you do have Venti is still good, by the way. If you did pull Venti, then you could use him on this Spiral Abyss. There are a lot of enemies on the first half, so if you run solo Venti, basically having only one animal support, then you should be fine. But yeah, there we go. And then the second half, it's the same thing, Fatuis and eremites. So again, if you have a DPS team, or if you have an animal support that can suck people in, this should be fine. As you can see there, look at that. A DPS team just completely destroys everything. So, the only thing that you want to watch out for is the Mirage Mage here. Because the Mirage Mage is annoying. Really, really annoying. Because she teleports. Everyone knows how terrible teleport enemies are because you can't hit them. So yeah, if you are going for an optimal route on taking out the enemies, take out the Mirage Mage first and then take out the Eremites last. Because the Mirage Mage teleports around, basically wasting your time. But it didn't matter for me anyway because I got the 3-star clear. So yeah, animal support DPS, you should be fine. And then for Chamber 3, this is very unique because the second half is just the Jade Plume Terror Shroom. But the first half here, again, if you have an animal support and DPS, I will keep emphasizing that over and over again. If you do have those, you're fine. You're fine. You're absolutely fine because it's just a bunch of mobs. So animal support sucks them in. You can kill them immediately. If you have a DPS team, you can one-shot all the Eremites. And then, well, the Samurai is pretty annoying though. So take out the Samurais first, of course. Because if you don't take them out in time, they heal themselves, which one of them does here later on in this run. But take out the Samurai first. They are really annoying. They basically super armor most of your hits anyway. So yeah, take them out first, of course. Same rule applies to floor 12 chamber 1. You want to take out the Samurai first because they are top priority. But yeah, there you go. As you can see there, first half is not that bad. But the second half here, it's not that bad either. So this is the Jade Plume Terror Shroom. It's just like 3.0's Jade Plume Terror Shroom. You can either defeat it in either two ways. One, use Pyro and hope to crap it dies. You just hope it dies fast enough. Or two, you can beat him the intended way and use Electro to charge him up. And then he's gonna go on a rampage mode. And then once he's done with the rampage mode, he burns out and basically that's your chance to attack. So yeah, he's gonna be on cooldown and you can basically kill the Terror Shroom and then you should be good to go. But I use the Pyro method where I just burst him down in general because if you dupe the Pyro strat, he will never do his Desperation move and he's always going to do his weak attacks. So yeah, there you go. That is floor 11. So this is all recorded in one run, by the way, without any retries. So yeah, I moved straight on to floor 12. So the only difference here is that I swapped the teams. There's a reason why. It's because of the last boss. The last boss, you need Electro, by the way. You're forced to run an Electro character. It's just like the Wolf boss again in Spiral Abyss, where you have to run Geo. But instead, for this time, you have to run Electro. Because if you don't run Electro, then you are basically gonna struggle. So yeah. Anyways, Force of Chamber 1. Again, if you have an animal support or DPS, you're fine. Yeah. It might be a little bit DPS heavy. Specifically 412 Chamber 3 second half. Because the boss has so much HP. So you want to burst him down as fast as possible. And besides, you waste your time by turning invisible anyway. Despite having an Electro character. So yeah. You might want to have a good DPS team just so that you could burst these down really quickly. But yeah, anyways, first half, it's just Eremites and Samurai. And, well, you know the strategy. Take out the Samurai first. Don't do what I did because, look at that, there you go, he heals himself. So yeah, this will be wasting even more time. So, well, I do have a lot of time on hand, so that is why I was lenient on letting him heal. Because, if you have, well, 2 minutes on the clock, then you're basically fine. But yeah, as you can see, they're pretty easy. If you have DPS or animal team, I'll keep emphasizing that over and over again, you're fine. So, these are the robots. So, second half has robots and 2 Eremites. So, the special thing about these, of course, is that, you need Electro characters. But if you can burst them down quickly enough, and they don't turn invisible, then you're good. It means that you can burst this down pretty quickly if you have a DPS team, regardless of an Electro character. But yeah, there you go. And then the last enemies here are the Eremites. So it's the Wind Bow Lady and the Geo Eremite with the shield. So their gimmick is that once they drop down to a certain amount of HP, basically under 25, they summon a creature. The Bow Lady summons the bird, and the guy summons a crocodile. So to be honest, you could just ignore them. If you want to kill them very quickly, you can. So after they summon their creatures, you could wait a couple seconds, and then they could still be killed. But at the time when they summon their creatures, you can't kill them, by the way. So keep that in mind once you know that. But if you do tend to beat them the normal way, if you kill the bird or the crocodile, they basically leave themselves vulnerable, and that's your chance to attack. So yeah, there you go. And then here we are with the first half of Chamber 2. It's just 4 robots, it's not that bad. Again, DPS team. If you have a DPS team, you're fine. Animal supports are pretty good here too, because it decreases the elemental res if you are running Viridescent, by the way. Which is what every Animo character runs besides Zhao. But if you do have DPS teams, you can burst them down pretty quickly here. This is just what I did. I think I beat this in less than a minute. You'll see here. Yeah, Hu Tao, Yelan is broken. Absolutely broken. Yeah, but there you go. Only one enemy left. The robots are not really a problem here. If you have DPSs, you're fine. But the most annoying robot is the flying one, which thankfully is not in this Spiral Abyss, but it is in 3.0s. So yeah. And the second half. This is what I mean by DPS heavy. Because you're going to be fighting the puppet. Yep. Everyone's favorite enemy, the puppet. So, if you already know how to beat him, I don't really need to explain that much, but for those guys who don't know how to beat the puppet, here's the thing. Of course, run a DPS team, of course. But mainly, you want to get his health down to 75% HP, because once he does that, he basically does a ice attack that he plunges down his 2 swords in. And then after that, he is in his second phase, where he just teleports around and does cryo damage to everyone. So, what I do is wait for him to teleport the first time, and then mostly the second time he never teleports. So, by then you could use your bursts. And also, don't be afraid to use your burst for invincibility. As you can see here, he basically does that, and then I use Raiden's Q for invincibility. So don't be afraid to use it for invincibility purposes. I know that it might be tempting to save your burst when he's vulnerable, but don't be worried. Just use your bursts. You still do damage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then by then you'll probably defeat him in time, which is what I did right here. Now there you go. Puppet defeated. If you have a DPS team, you are fine. And then this is the Chamber 3 of first half. So the enemies here are not that bad. The only thing about the Vishaps is that they take away your bursts, which is not really a big problem if you can burst them down. So yeah, this is probably the fastest floor that I beat. You'll see here. Yeah, but look at that. I already defeated 3 Vishaps right here. Yeah, 2, 3, there you go, and then the last one is right there. Yeah, there we go. Beat it in around 30 seconds. And then that leaves plenty of time for this boss right here, the Tomb Guard of the Desert King. So, what's special about this guy? It's the same thing as the other robots. You need Electro to basically exploit his weak points. But the first thing that he always does is summon his parts to attack you. So all you have to do is burst down one of them. You don't have to burst down all of them, just burst down one of them. And once he does this, where he does the machine things, use an electro attack on them, and then he'll be vulnerable. Yeah, this is what I mean by using an electro character, or you're forced to use an electro character. Because if you don't, you're going to be wasting time. You're going to be waiting for him to basically appear again and be non-invisible. But yeah, there you go. That is basically how to beat the Tomb Guard. All you have to do is use electro attacks when he is vulnerable. Take out the parts when he summons the parts right here. He summons a part, so just kill it in time. Right here, just burst them down, burst them down, burst them down. Should be done right there. Yep, there we go. And then he summons the thingies. All you have to do is use an electro attack right there. Boom! Does dendral damage to him, and then he is exposed. So, again, if you have a DPS team, with an electro character, of course. So, this floor is tailored for Raiden. Raiden just destroys everything here. Hopefully she could get a rerun soon, so that, well, people could roll for her. But, there are other characters that could probably, do this, well, efficiently. Yeibiko is one of them. Fischl, Beidou, any character that uses Electro is good. But yeah, there we go. That is floor 12 done. And that is the end of this commentary. So yeah, well, thank you guys for watching this Spiral Abyss commentary video. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I upload genshin videos once a week, so if you do subscribe to my channel, be sure to turn on notifications to not miss out on a single upload. And also, well, as I said before, subscribe if you do enjoy this type of content. Also, comment down below, what do you think of Spiral Abyss? Is it fun? Is it hard? Is it easy? In my opinion, though, it's pretty kind of DPS heavy. But if you know the counters to every enemy, then you should be fine. like I said there, all you need is an Electro character for the second half, and you should be fine for floor 12. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.